Hey there, welcome.
Hi.
Welcome to CDC-FDA, everyone. We're here on
Welcome.
a nice overcast spring day in May, and we're going to begin going over Chapter 1 of Chinese Energetic Medicine, Volume 1. It's Doc Smith here from Healing is Free with Discernment. How you doing, my friend?
I am close to spectacular. Thank you very much. And I'm only close to spectacular because I become spectacular when we do a little bit of your energy work.
Oh, okay, beautiful. Well, it's not mine. Everything that we have is borrowed,
Oh, yeah.
so we can borrow it from each other. And let's just take a moment here. I'm sitting nice onto my seat here, relaxing my sits bones and getting my feet flat on the floor here. Feeling my pelvis relax and flatten. Breathing in silently into the nose and out of the mouth. Open exhale. Two more times into the nose silently. Got a dog whining. Okay. I've actually got a dog that started whining just now and reminded me that I need to give him a little bit of water, so I'm going to do that right now.
No problem. Anytime. Dogs. I don't know. I like a lot of dogs more than I like. It's just they're so easy to love.
There you go. Okay. All right. Maintaining that purging breath anytime we need to. Breathe out like a horse or like a lion. Okay, well, let's take a moment here and I'll put myself on solo layout so folks can see, hear what I'm doing. Just going to do a standing Wuji posture here, meditation. First settling into it with just little rotations, contralateral movement. Get a little twist into it. And come into the center, a little trembling horse here. Feeling myself come into the base posture here. Really trembling my legs here, my knees, ankles. I was driving today about 4 hours in a lot of traffic, so I'm going to even use my table here. Get up in here and really feel my hips. Why not? Feel the other one. I love to use furniture. My side body of my shoulder, my armpit on the table here. Send my ear up to the heavens. Whoa. Oh. Oh. And then come back into the center. Wow. All of a sudden, I'm feeling a lot more energy. I was really tired when we started this, and I'm still tired, but feeling better, that's for sure. Okay. Trembling horse. Purging breath. Coming into settling into base posture here where we're feet straight ahead. About hips width apart. Knees slightly bent. All joints stacked on top of each other with the shoulders back and down, relaxed. Hands relaxed and open like so. Thumbs are not pointed in. If anything, they're pointed out. As we breathe in silently into the nose, we feel the expansion in all directions, even down to the earth from our perineum. As we breathe out of the mouth, we feel the crown of the head go up to the heavens and a little bit back. At least 3 purging breaths right here. Okay, just a little feeling of the Wuji posture here. Let's do a little bit of joint opening. That will help us even more. So we're going to start with our heads, and let's just take our fingers interlaced, place them just behind the crown, the top of the head here. We're going to relax the shoulders down. I'm breathing into the belly silently. As I breathe out of the mouth, I press my hands against my head against my hands. Go back. I feel it in my sacrum. I feel my whole spine lengthening. 2 more breaths. Feel my thoracics extend and lengthen. And arms down. Send the head back. Extend fully the cervical spine. Breath in, come back to center. And breath out, go forward. Fully flex it now. And even hold the head down and help it relax down. Hands interlaced above the occipital ridge. Feel free to use support of the table, especially for joint opening. I love to use the table just like this. I'll go. So you can do that to get the side of the neck. So alternately, if we're standing, we can go like this and do neck on the side. So we coming from here, come back up from flexion. Then we come to the side of the neck. Right hand up over to the left ear. Send the crown into the elbow here, up this way. Breath in, into the belly. Send the crown up that way. Then we start to let the hand weigh it down over to the side. Lateral flexion of the neck. Not letting our weight go outside of the instep of the foot. A few breaths here. And after about the third breath, come up with the left hand all the way up to the sky. Breath in and then breath out. Come down like this. Pull the energy out of the shoulder. Back to the center. Do the same thing on the other side. We're going to pick up the left hand. Up and over. Cup the left ear here. I'm using my right hand too to just help load my head and help it to place into position here, into a deep, deep lateral flexion going the other way, where I breathe into my belly, into the nose. Out of the mouth as I send my ear up to the heavens. Remembering also to send the crown that way. The idea here is to load the head with the weight of the hands. And when we're ready, come back up to center. Actually, excuse me, we'll go like this. We'll come up, and then we'll come all the way down the ear, pull it out the shoulder. There we go. Now we come back to center. Bit of trembling horse. If needed, I'm going to move this out of the way here. Move the legs as needed. Okay, we're coming into the center. Feeling pretty good. Continuing with opening all the joints, we're going to do the shoulders now. Many different ways. We could just go like this, simply like this. What I like to do is shake hands with someone in front. Breathing in, shake hands with the sun, with the sky way up. And then shaking hands with someone way behind us, even twisting way back. And then doing that again. So we do about 3 on each arm. And shake it on out. We're opening up all of our gates. So that way, everything on our form is able to flow. Okay, continuing down, let's do hips now. I really need some hip opening after all that driving. I'm going to do some big sumos. And down into it there. Feel free to use the couch if needed. I was not planning on doing a big qigong like this, but this is what I need after all that driving. Opening the hips here. Oh, yeah. Opening the hips. Purging breath. Purging breath. Yeah, okay. Coming into the center. And we're going to open up knees. So you can can see me here. Coming back to the center, feel that center pose, the Wu Ji posture here. I need to get a film studio going in this place. Okay. Just feel that Wu Ji posture right here, expanding from the center. Okay, I'm already feeling a lot better. We're going to come to the knees here, hands on top of the knees. Just do some nice circles. And then pause in the center for a breath, and then other direction. And relax. Up to the center. Remember, in the tongue position, suctioned up to the palate, upper palate. New normal. Okay, we're going to open up ankles. It's nice if you have something you can put your hand on. Feel free to use a wall, posts. If you got anything you can use to support you while you do these is good. And relax. Rotate the other direction. Kick it out. And picking up the other foot. Rotating the ankle. Relaxing. Switching direction. And kicking it out. Stepping it out. All right. Okay, wow, I'm feeling a lot better. I think I'm just gonna move this a little bit here so you can see me. Can you see me decently? Let me move this thing. How's that? Is that better?
That's perfect.
Okay. All right. How are you feeling, my brother?
Better. Got some more energy. That works. It works.
Works for what purpose?
To make you, to give you a second, third, fourth, or fifth wind.
Okay. Well, that's good. I guess that is what it is. And whatever. It's an interesting topic of what is Qigong and is that even the right term for it? Because this all started out as a spiritual practice and then we're calling it like a workout and or a therapy or whatever. And these things were first cultivated because the feeling and the understanding was that we were becoming connected to source, to God, to spirit, to
To
what is,
nature.
to what is, and so it's good to remember that it's not for us to use as a tool to accomplish our goals in our head or whatever, And if we do some breath like that, and we might decide we don't even want to do this live stream, and we want to tell everybody to have a good rest of their day, uh, but we've decided that we're going to go take a nap or take a walk or something. But I'm actually feeling pretty good.
Yeah.
And I think that was what you're saying too, is you're feeling another wind. So that's
Yeah. 20 minutes ago, I felt like taking a nap.
Me too. Exactly. So that is the effect that although I'm feeling, not like ready to rush a mountain or anything like that, but we're 21 minutes in and we got 21 people watching. Thank you all for being here. Welcome to CDC-FDA, Center for Disease Consideration from Different Angles. And I'm going to move this off of me to there we go. Okay. Great. We got 23 people now. This is figure 1.1 from volume 1 of the Secret Teachings of Chinese Energetic Medicine by Professor Jerry Allen Johnson, PhD, DTCM. So volume 1 is Energetic Anatomy and Physiology, and chapter 1 is Introduction to Chinese Energetic Medicine. And figure 1.1, this is the first figure in the book. And we see here, this is the most ancient to modern Chinese characters for qi. So, first section of this chapter is Introduction to Life Force Energy. So, discernment, I'm just going to start reading. And of course, my dog literally needs to go out right now. He needs to go out right now. So, you're going to take over and you're going to wing it and talk about whatever you want.
All right. Love to your dogs. Gotta take care of them. Give them a hug for me. Isn't that funny when you see that bumper sticker or those stickers on people's car? Tell your dog I said hi. I'm like, who are you? My dog doesn't know you. Anyway. All right. So I wrote a book last year. It's called The Audacity of Health. I wrote it because it came to me, and I wanted to share my experience of how to heal, how to feel good, how to have energy. And in the book, I talk about what a correct diet might be, or a healing diet. And part of that has to do with not eating so much and questioning, why do we eat so much? Could we eat, I don't know, 80% less and still be better off? But the book isn't about fasting, but I mention and talk about how fasting might be one of the quickest ways to heal from a disease. And we're not talking about a cold or a flu type of disease. Talking about more difficult things like diabetes, which is hugely diagnosed in the past few years and just keeps increasing. And someone on the other side might say, well, that's because of our technology and we're able to detect these diseases. And I would say, no, we're farther from nature. We are, because we're civilized. We're living in cities more, and we're not in touch and in tune with nature. We're not getting sunlight we should be, or walking in the grass, or going to the beach as we're meant to be outside and in nature more than we are. So that was nice. That was quick, Doc.
I just tied him up out there. I'm going to have to go get him in a bit.
All right. So I
All
think
right.
it's funny how the fifth one there, I mean, they get more, not really more complex, but the fifth one's a little more complex, and it almost looks like, if I had to say make a symbol for energy, that little symbol there that looks kind of like electricity or an explosion or something like that. It reminds me of energy.
Right. Well, let's read about it. Introduction to life force energy. More than 5,000 years ago, the ancient Chinese masters of energetic healing came to the understanding that everything is composed of the same ethereal substance, which they called qi. These ancient masters observed that there is a oneness and wholeness in all existence, and that everything is energetically interconnected as one body through qi. The most ancient Chinese character used for qi appeared on the Shang Dynasty oracle bones, 1600 BC, and on the Zhou Dynasty bronze inscriptions around 1028 BC, as three horizontal lines, as we see here in the first on the far left. As three horizontal lines, this ancient character originally depicted, quote, a mist that rises from the earth in order to form clouds. This unique ideographic was retained until the early Western Zhou dynasty, 1066 BC, and was also used to indicate heat waves that rise from the heated surface of the earth, and later used to describe exhaled breath that can be seen on a cold day. So that's the far left original version of Qi character. In the clinic, traditional Chinese medical diagnosis is primarily based on understanding the internal transformations of the body's qi. This is because the ancient Chinese believed that all physical transformations happened under the guidance and influence of qi. In Taoist alchemy, disciples are traditionally taught that when the original energy, the yuan qi, is radiant and still, it is called spirit. As it flows into movement, it is called breath or qi. And spirit is shen, breath is qi. As it coagulates and condenses itself, it is called essence or jing. So there's spirit, breath, and essence. Shen, qi, jing. The essence is the physical body. According to the Tao Te Ching, within the entire universe, there is but one primordial breath, yuan qi. It is from this inexhaustible reservoir that all things derive their existence. The birth, aging, and death of all things within heaven, earth, and man, including planets and stars, mountains and oceans, forests and deserts, plants and animals, are all caused by and formed out of qi. Although energy may appear to take on many different patterns and forms, all things in nature, and in fact all things in the universe, are intrinsically woven together so that we are quite literally all symbiotically one via the system of qi. Qi is vibrating in constant energetic motion within all things. It is the catalyst for everything to relate and interrelate within the universe. The ancient Chinese believed that the qi of yin and yang fills the great void, the wuji, enveloping all things and leaving nothing outside its boundary. In modern times, the laws of physics have demonstrated that matter and energy are interchangeable and that matter is simply another form of energy. Matter is constantly vibrating in the form of particles or waveforms. It is constantly changing, either affecting or interacting with energy. Energy is inherent in the living human body, and the human body is sustained by energy. That's figure 1.2, which I will switch to. So we see here. So energy is inherent in the living human body, and the human body is sustained by energy. See figure 1.2 here. The ancient Chinese mastered specific techniques to balance the body's energy, or qi, in order to live in harmony with the ever-changing environmental earth qi and universal heaven qi energetic fields. Chinese energetic medicine maintains that when living things start to lose their qi, they lose their vitality. An ancient Taoist saying states, life comes into beginning because qi is amassed. When qi is scattered, the person dies. Qi is stored within the human body in the form of energetic pools, creating the energetic matrix of the internal organs. From these internal pools, the body's life force energy flows in the form of rivers and streams. These special energetic rivers and streams extend throughout the human body, creating its various energetic vessels, channels, and collateral pathways. This is a good image right here. For the 29 folks that are watching this, of chi that's radiating from the inside out. And that this is the nature of what we are, in a more than just a physical sense of what we can measure.
Doc,
Yeah.
I think I see 3 small circles and 3 larger ones.
Uh-huh.
Tell me, are those meridians or something?
Well, you see the 3 large circles, you're seeing the one that's in the middle of the head. So these are depicting the 3 treasures, the lower dantian, the middle dantian, the upper dantian. So the lower dantian is the storehouse of our jing, our physical body. This is like really kind of centered in our kidneys. Middle dantian is the store of our chi, and that's like solar plexus, and lungs, very key, ruling our chi. And this is the store of our upper dantian is the store of our shen, our spirit. So, you can see everything in someone's eyes, right? Like their spirit, right? They're happy, sad. Right? Yeah. And then the smaller ones are, those are just what you would call chakras. There's a whole section on chakras in here. So there's one that's like at the root chakra, and then there's one at the navel chakra. Yeah, it looks like there's one at navel chakra, and then throat chakra and crown chakra.
Okay, there's 4. Okay. Smaller ones.
Yeah. And yeah, we'll get into all the chakras and all that stuff. The interesting thing is how it goes right along the center of the spine, right? Okay, well, let's move on. We've got 30 people currently watching this. Let me see here if I want to throw in a little banner there. There we go.
Nice.
Getting fancy. Okay, we're going to move on, and we're going to keep it to an hour today, even though we started late, because we're busy people. We're actually at a little section break here. Let's check in, brother. How you doing?
I'm spectacular. I thought it was amazing what you told me, that you had, like, it sounded like 6 or 8 hours of on Mother's Day of helping friend clients.
Yeah, it was great. It was a really good day. Drove down to Escondido. From here, took about 4 hours with some pretty good traffic. But by the time I got there, it was great. And I did 5 back-to-back 75-minute sessions, and with like maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes in between each, just going pretty good. But each time I'd start a 75-minute session, the first 5 or 10 minutes was talking with the person, showing them some basics. And the first, I'm trying to emphasize three things with people now when I first work with them. And they're the three things that we just did in our Qigong just now. Do you remember what they are? Well, you did it without even knowing it. It's the purging breath. You know that. So that's number one, purging breath. So right when I meet somebody, and I guess when people are referring me, they're like, this guy does these breaths where he's just like, Plah. So I guess they're expecting it or whatever. And
that's great.
So like I meet these people and I'm like, okay, let's take a few purging breaths now. It's going to go in silently and into the nose. I'm just, close my eyes and I just stand in Wuji posture and do 3 purging breaths. And I just guide them through it, what I'm doing, why I'm doing it with my eyes closed. And then I, after 3 purging breaths, then I start to focus on the Wuji posture of emptiness. My toes are pointed straight ahead. Here's all my new normal. My new normal. Anytime I feel any tension at all, mental, physical, spiritual, any at all, I breathe out, purging horse breath or lion's breath. Let it all out. And then here's my new normal for the way I stand. My toes are straight ahead. My knees are slightly bent. All my joints are stacked on top of each other. My shoulders are relaxed and down and back. And my perineum even relaxes down to the earth. And the crown of my head goes up to the heavens and a little bit back. That's my new normal with my tongue suctioned up to the roof of my mouth. So let's do a little saliva. Let's swirl our tongue all around our mouth for 10 or 15 seconds, create a bunch of saliva, and then swallow it down. And that helps the tongue suction up to the roof of the mouth. So I do this with them, and this takes about 3-5 minutes, to go through that right there. And then I say, okay, now what I'm going to do is you're going to get on the table here. And the only low light of the whole weekend was that, well, it was Sunday, Monday, was that I did every session with a table standing up for me, which it's so much better being on the ground. So much better being on the ground. But some people, they want the table, and it is what it is. So they get on the table. I say, now we've done purging breath, and we're expanding into the emptiness of Wuji posture. This is the new normal. This is the practice. Try to do this every day, at least 5 minutes, at least 5-6 days a week, if not 7. And this is the new normal of all times. Expanding into emptiness in this posture and breathing out like this fully if we have any tension. And then always breathing in silently into the nose with the tongue suction up to the roof of the mouth. Then I say, now I'm going to have you get on the table. First, you're going to tell me a bit about what I need to know. But what I'm going to tell you is that all I'm really going to do is I'm going to help open up all your joints, and I'm going to help you to feel what it feels like to be free of a lot of tension that you hold by patterns. And I'm going to help you to remember what that feels like. And then it's going to be your job after that to memorize it and maintain it and build on that. And then they tell me, about how they're feeling, and it's pretty interesting how almost everybody from almost the exact same protocol, I do spend time, somebody says, hey, I got this here, I'll spend more time on it typically, but sometimes I won't. And universally, people feel better. They feel, wow, I didn't realize how good I could feel, and so it's really cool to go do that on Sunday with 5 people, and 4 of them were new people. And then on Monday, yesterday, I was busy yesterday too. I had one in the morning, and then I had one at 1:00 that was just in person at the beach. And we went through the head loading. It was really cool because I worked on her on Sunday, and she really liked it. Plus she was really interested in this idea of head loading. And so she came down, and for about an hour and a half, we walked around the beach with medicine balls on top of our heads together. And we had a bunch of people going like, what is that? That looks awesome. What are you doing? And I said, go to headloading.com. And anybody you can go to headloading.com. I went ahead and started a little website if you want to check it out. Go.
Good job.
But it's just the same thing. It's just a Google form. But yeah, so head loading, it's an incredible Wuji posture expander, so many other things. And so that's what I did yesterday at 1 with her. And then at 5 o'clock, I went, and this was the kicker. This is what I really want to do. I like doing what I did on Sunday where it was 5 people. That was great, but that's also actually a lot. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like, it was a lot. Whereas on Monday, I had just an older couple. They were the lady, she's in her 60s, and the gentleman's in his 70s. And this is the second time I worked with them. So I came over and we did Qigong in the yard. They have a beautiful yard, nice grassy area. So we did standing Dao Yin flow and for about 30 minutes. And then I set the table up in their backyard. They had, this gorgeous sunset. And I worked on him first for hour and 30 minutes. And she was right there with me almost the whole time. And I'm showing her, I'm like, okay, look at his hips. He's like this. He was talking about how his lower back is really hurting. Okay, here's why. Feel here. Feel here. You see how tight this is? You see how weak this is? You see how this is rotated here? And she was like, okay, I get it. And I'm like, okay, exactly. So we're going to want to, we need to strengthen his glutes. We need to lengthen his quads, basically, long story short. And, but I got in there with my elbows and he's like opening his hips up and he's like, wow, this is more range of motion than I've felt in a long, long time.
Beautiful.
I'm like, yeah, keep going. Open your hip and, into my elbow as I'm like really digging it in there. And it's amazing when we're challenged. You know what I mean? Like if all I can do with my arm is open it this much, if I challenge myself, and force myself to use my muscles, then I'll actually increase that range and then I'll be able to stretch it more. So yeah, that's what I did on Monday yesterday. And it was great because that's what I really want to do is help people like in their home to change their practice really is what I was there for. You know what I mean? I wasn't just, giving them a feel good session. You know what I mean? It was, I was helping them to understand here's what's happening and here's what needs to happen. So that way your lower back is not hurting all the time. I've got to go get the DOG, brother. Let's close this up, man.
Okay.
We don't have to do 2 hours like we always do.
Okay.
38 people on here. We're going to leave you wanting more this time. Look here and see the chi emanating out from the inside, radiating from the inside out. That is health, okay? This whole immune system idea sounds like a bad Western.
And, if you click the thingy thing in Twitter, you can ask questions. You can get into you click a button and you can ask questions anytime. And of course, Doc and I would also, if someone wanted to come on and have a quick discussion, we would allow that too. You just ask us and we'll send you a link.
Potentially, if they're cool.
Of course.
Yeah, we're going to bounce though, because we're going to leave y'all wanting more. And 39 of you are on here. Thank you. We did a 44-minute one today. Usually it's more like an hour and a half. But yeah, like Discernment said, leave us some comments. Do a little interacting so that way we know who you are, okay, and we know what you want.
All right. So do you I have a question or two. Do you want to get off or do you want to?
Let me get the DOJ. Hold up.
Yeah. All right. So anyways, I was saying like 20 minutes ago, I went through a detox and I wanted to share what I did. And my mentor has been doing this for 20 years and seeing hundreds of people. I've seen about 20-ish clients in the last few months that I decided to try and help people to know and realize that the body heals themselves. You can heal yourself. You don't need to pay people tons of money or keep going back. You don't need any supplement. You don't need any, obviously, pill or drug. You just have to bring less toxins into your body and flush. And so any person who has diabetes, any issues people have, it's pretty much the same thing that I would share. And I would also share and recommend doing the things that Doc Smith teaches, and that would, so my part is to basically, you bring in less toxins by eating properly, but you're going to take in sea salted water, and you start with 10 grams per liter, and this is to flush toxins out. But of course, there's other ways to flush toxins out, as Doc says, by your breath. But the other routes of detox, as everyone knows, is the front door, the back door, your skin, and of course your lungs. And so by flushing with sea salted water, you're giving yourself minerals and electrolytes, because we are electric. Look at Doc go over there. Doc, that looks like your hip's gonna loosen right up, and maybe upper back and everything too, your whole spine.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm going for. That's for sure.
Now, is that because you were doing Twain off for so many hours the past 2 days?
I think it has probably more to do with the 8 hours of driving, but
Yes.
Also having to do all that while I was using a table does take a bit of a toll, more than if I'm on the ground.
So yeah, being in a car or a bicycle or at your desk at work, these are some of the worst positions the human body can be in. What do you think, Doc?
Yeah, sitting is probably the worst position to be in.
And when you're at your desk or driving and stuff, you're also hunched over.
Do you know what this position I'm in is called?
Let's hear it.
You don't know?
I don't.
It's called table up your arse position.
All right. Is that ancient Chinese?
Yeah.
Translation?
Oof, no, that was nice. Oh yeah, that works. I did it. Yeah, that was my glute medius was just really tight. So I got in there and here, I'm going to show you. Okay. I used this point. You see that point?
Yeah.
See that point?
Yep.
That was what did it. You take that point on your table, okay? And you identify the point where it's tight. Like for me, it was right in here. And then you line it up. Okay. Lengthen the side body, line it up. It's right on the point. Okay. And now I'm actually pressing my hips that way. I'm going into it. And I just get down and keep it right on that point. And I'm kind of getting into a triangle pose actually in yoga. Like you get into like a triangle.
Yeah.
Just let it get in there. Just dig it in. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It's funny.
This is how you stay out of problems with the hips. People are asking me, how do I avoid hip surgery? It never makes sense to get it probably, but like this right here. Does this make sense why this would help you avoid hip surgery? Or do I need to explain it more, discernment?
It makes sense to me, but you can always explain things. I would want to say, you're loosening things up, giving it blood flow, giving it movement. So,
Exactly.
the opposite of stagnation.
Exactly. Well, I mean, yeah, if the muscles around the hip are tight and it's pulling things out of line, then if we just loosen up the muscles, then they go back into line, right? So, like, why would we do surgery? You know? Like, they literally have thoracic outlet syndrome surgery.
Yeah.
You know, this surgery up here where they actually just cut the muscles that are tight. That's barbaric as hell. That's so barbaric. It's insane. When you can literally do it with your hands. You can loosen up the muscles with your hands. Well, and with the person doing it on their own with their breath, head loading, you know, thanks. But it's crazy what they do. But
Right. You know,
I don't want to get into it too much.
it's a new thing, right? Basically, compared to Chinese ancient energetic medicine. Is that Hank? Is Hank saying what's up?
Isn't he awesome? Good boy.
He's
Hank.
handsome.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, there was a period of surgery in Chinese medicine history. Did I tell you this before, right? That they used to do surgery? I told you that, right? No?
Possibly. It's tell me more. I mean, it's obviously not what they're doing these days.
They had a period where they did elective surgeries. This was like 3,000 years ago.
Wow.
And they stopped doing it after a while because they realized that it was actually just never worth it. And they were like, it's always better to just only if you like have to, you know, stop bleeding, you know,
Sure.
emergency situation. And by the way, we had a guest on a few weeks ago who said something like, you know, like describing holistic care as if somebody would put turmeric on a wound that's like a gushing chest wound or something like that. You know what I mean? They're like, you're not just going to put turmeric on it. Do you remember that? Are you spaced out, bro? Come on. Are you remembering anything that happens? Just a little bit? Okay, that's actually good. That's actually good. Let it all go. Anyway, the point is, nobody would ever say that.
I can get you if you want. I can do this to you. But yeah, no.
My point is, okay, there was a lot of surgery that was done in Chinese history way back when, and they stopped doing it because they decided it was not worth it. And even emergency surgeries and stuff like that were done and are still done by Chinese medicine practitioners if there's an emergency. But anyway, what was the point there?
Oh, you don't need. It's ridiculous to cut things when you can heal them in another way.
Yeah, exactly. They had a period of surgery, and they used to bathe all the organs in a herbal solution and then put them back in, sew the person back up, and
Wow.
yeah, and they realized that actually it makes more sense to not do that and just do the actual work yourself. You know, do the internal work to learn how to relax yourself. You know, through breathing, through the neuropulmonary connection, right, and our functions of our muscles and all that actually has a lot to do with how we're feeling. So,
have you thought any more about the tongue depressors and the jaw thing that Philip was talking about?
I haven't tried the tongue depressor thing. I mean, here's why I wouldn't get caught up in that is because I don't want to look at one joint and focus on it. You know, when I'm working with people, it's always such a constellation that changes all the time. And, you know, I'm trying to develop protocols that are universal because we all need to be doing the prehab anyway. You know, like we should have a daily practice or a regular enough practice that if we do this, this, and this, we're not going to have to worry about TMJ disorders. We're not going to have to worry about trigeminal neuralgia. We're not going to have to worry about occipital neuralgia. We're not going to have to worry about airway issues. We're not going to have to worry about our maxillary arch being too narrow. We're not going to have to worry about our tongue position. We're not going to have to worry about our vision. All these things, head loading, yoga postures and poses with the breath work, addressing the neuropulmonary connection and the functional movement aspect of the poses with the head load is transformational. It will, anybody who's watching this, if you just walk, try to do 5, 10, 15 minutes a day, just walking with a weight on top of your head.
I started with a 4-pound ball, actually.
You did?
For 10 to 15 minutes the past 2 weeks. I was actually sore the next day, but it's been a week since I was a little sore, but it just...
You were sore with a 4-pound ball?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, I had it on for maybe 20 minutes, maybe a longer time.
Just walking?
Yeah.
Cool.
And so I'm going to go up to a 10-pound ball anyway.
Yeah.
I can feel that the muscles were working, and I can't wait to experiment more and see what happens.
Good.
I'm hoping to grow at least half an inch, Doc.
You might. I don't know. Who knows? Potentially taller people could even grow more, I think, because usually taller people are hunching over more.
Sure.
And people I was working with last night, the guy of the couple, he's like 6'3", and he was really jazzed about the medicine ball head loading. Like, he started to feel it. He was like, "Whoa, okay, I get it."
Yeah, and it puts you into the posture, right? You're not going to sit there like
this.
Bro.
You're going to feel it. And he put the 30-pound ball on his head, and he was like, "Whoa." Yeah, put a 30-pound ball on your head, man.
I like to progress and go slow.
You should, but this 70-year-old man just put it right on top of his head. So I'm just saying you can do it. You can put it right on top. Don't go like this.
Yeah.
Right on top, But either way, it's an incredible therapy that literally at the same time that it puts pressure down in the earth, you're going down into the earth more at the same time as you're going up to the sun more. You're literally going like this. You're going like this from the inside because you're the one that chooses to put it on your head. So you are from the inside going like this, reducing all the curves of your spine. It's the number one most incredible therapy that's ever been created. And I will, if anybody has a better therapy, please comment, tell me what it is. And I can't wait to find out what it is, because I'm saying doing this with purging breath and just a basic Wuji posture, meditation expansion with a ball on the crown of the head, erecting the spine. And any other therapy or exercise that is out there that can say that it's potentially the most effective for the widest range of the most deadly symptoms and problems that we have, I would say try it head loaded and see if it even gets even better. Like, you can almost do anything head loaded and it just takes it to the next level, And there's certain things we can't do, or we're not going to try to do head loaded. I don't know if we're going to ever. I don't know if you're going to sprint head loaded or jumping. Like, you're probably not going to want to do that. But for other things, just adding a head load to whatever you're doing is going to just take it to the next level.
Have you written any kind of procedures or protocols for this stuff? Like, okay, you're going to do 4 minutes.
In my notebook.
6. That might be something to think about. doing more of?
I'm going to. Oh, well, I mean, I've written them in the sense that they're on YouTube. So there's a few that are like 108 breath protocol and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
And but you're right. That's part of what I'm doing. You know, that's why I want people to go to headloading.com. And if you're interested in that, I'll coach you for free for the first 4 weeks. If you're not so interested in that, you'd like to work with me on the other stuff, breath work or whatever, mindset and all that, go to healingisfree.com. Same deal. But yeah, I think that here very soon I'm going to have the protocols out, like your basic protocols, you know? So
yeah, because
the basic one I already wrote is 5 minutes a day, 5 days a week, 5 to 10% of your body weight on the crown of your head, going straight up, just standing or walking. So that's the number one base protocol that anyone should do if they want to get into it and try it. And then what I'm telling people is, okay, you start there and contact me and I'll coach you through 4 weeks for free because everyone's different. You know what I mean? So I'm working with 60, 70-year-old people and 30, 40-year-old people. And you and I can put 30 pounds on top of our head and we can do all different kinds of stuff. I mean, I don't want some frail older person, some frail person to hurt themselves. You know what I mean? So I don't want to just be like, yeah, take the ball and try this. You know what I mean? And then, so that's why I'm going slow here. And I want people to reach out to me so I have a wealth of experiences that I can draw from when I say, hey, here's the protocol, right? So that's why there's not one out yet. I'm not just going to pull it out of my ass for you. Okay. like all these business hacks and all these people putting their newfangled bullshit, putting it on YouTube and just, here's the way to do this. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, you're literally putting out that shit. Literally, you're saying to do calf raises. What was the point of doing that video? Like nobody ever thought of to do a calf raise before. YouTube is funny to me. I don't.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
and that's why I said if I had a paper,
worst health and medical advice gets 5 million views, and then
funny.
I don't want to sound bitter, but my shit's got 50 views on there. It's like,
no,
okay, there it is. It's all good.
In their own time, people have to see what works and what doesn't, and a lot of times they see what doesn't work and come to people like you and me for an alternative.
This head loading thing is unstoppable. It's unstoppable because I'm already getting the word out and the visual is getting out on the mass basis. Every day I go out walking. I go out walking with my big ass head load on there, 30 pounds just like this. And I'm walking around and everybody's chicken rubbernecking. What? Yeah. Look at me. Look at what I'm doing. You understand exactly what I'm doing. You can tell exactly what I'm doing. And people have walked up to me already.
What are you doing?
Nearly a dozen people, I think, have already walked up to me. What's going on? Are you working out? And I get to talk to them about it. And people are trying it. I have people sending me pictures, hey, here's what I'm doing walking around a hike with a rock on their head, So people are doing it. They're trying it. They're getting great benefits. One of my buddies is like from kindergarten. He's like, bro, my hip has never had any relief until I tried that.
Oh, wow.
So, and
it's full body.
It's going to go, I'll be like Vincent Van Gogh, maybe. Like I'll never be famous in my lifetime for it. But like in 200 years, people are like, this guy created this head loading procedure and it's actually rendered 98.7% of the entire medical system irrelevant now.
That's great.
Turns out all you need to do is put some weight on your head and walk around and breathe out all the way through your mouth open until you feel better.
Barefoot at the beach on the grass.
Ideal.
Outside. So that's why I said, if people had a piece of paper with a few things to do besides that, but that's enough. to start with, especially that, we're not walking around with our phone or anything. We could.
I mean, it's not that complicated. I tell people, put it on top of your head, stand with it on top of your head, pushing it straight up to the sun. And that's all you got to do for the first month. And you do 5 minutes a day, 5 days a week, with 5 to 10% of your body weight. It's not complicated, right?
That's not complicated, no. But we've done so many other things. That's what I was referring to.
What's going on here?
For example, this bear crawl from a frog squat that you see right
It's you.
I'm getting really into
What happened with
the head load and focus on the ankles.
Do you hear this?
It's off now. Yeah, we saw you working for a second there.
Purging breath.
Yeah.
Working with the medicine ball as what I call a head load for the last few years. It's been incredible and has improved
you hear
so
it?
many symptoms for me.
Yes.
We can do besides just walking with it on top of our head, which is great. For example, this bear crawl from a frog squat that you see right here. Notice how I'm getting really into the ankles. If we have a head load and focus on ankles, we work everything.
It's so strange.
Did you see that? Yeah. So that's head loading too. It's not just having it on top of the head, but it's the idea of using the head as the thing that moves the load from anywhere to anywhere, right?
Right.
Like it's almost like embryonic movement. Like think of yourself before you were in this body. Like how was your spine getting around? Like almost like think of a snake moving or something.
Right. Your head was a huge part of your body when we were that young. Yeah.
So yeah, this is a novel development for sure. I think the idea of loading our head and working neck is like absolutely primary, working head as primary, and like the way that any exercise happens, like any exercise is like it's like a lever, right? And there's a weight on the other end of it, right? Like when I do this exercise right here, right? Like I'm simply just hinging my hips. You see me?
Yeah.
Okay. So what is working right now? What's doing the work? Mainly my glutes.
Yeah.
Okay. What are my glutes picking up?
Your upper body, yeah.
Especially what?
Your head,
My head.
shoulders,
Look at my head. The head. The glutes. Look, if anybody thinks that there's anything else that's more important that the glutes are doing in that position than picking up the head, please tell me. There's nothing else that they're doing that's more important. If the glutes have any consciousness, any connection to the rest of the body at all, the main thing that they're concerned about is their role in picking up the head and getting it level and getting it secured and getting it just right where it needs to be to do whatever the F we need to do. So there's no question about what is this doing, brother. It's picking up the head. That's what it's doing. What are my knees doing? They're moving my head.
Let me guess. They're moving the head.
What are my ankles doing? They're moving my head.
Huh.
Okay? My shoulder, everything is it's all really geared toward the head, and it's irrelevant to work it without the head involved. And the head should be centered and challenged even more than normal. And everything that has a job where its like main job is to secure the head and all these super important functions of the airway and all this, it should be challenged even more than normal while we're doing all these other things. So that's what this genius of this system is that you're working your ankle deep, work your ankle, get way into it with the head also challenged even more. Because once you put that weight on top of your head, it's also on your ankle. So your ankle is getting the extra weight and your head is getting it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just the emphasis is all perfect. Nothing is overemphasized. Nothing's emphasized out of place. It's just amazing. People need to try it. I'm telling you, it's the age reverser.
Sounds like you could write a book on it.
At some point, probably, yeah.
Well, who else is gonna? It's your thing. It's really awesome. But you give it to everybody. Thank you.
Well, hey, what are we going to call it? The spinal erection? The number one way to get ahead in life? Give yourself a spinal erection.
Yes. Okay, I'll keep brainstorming that one.
Obviously.
Oh.
Yeah, we'll keep working on it, brother. But yeah, I've been working on the head loading thing, and it's been good. And I would love it if people would try it. We got 57 people on here now. Please, I encourage you all to go try it. 5 minutes, 5 days a week. Just put 5 to 10% of your body weight on top of your crown of your head and stand in basic Wuji posture of emptiness, expanding. Or walk, or both. At least 5 minutes, 15 would be great. And you'll have wide-ranging symptom relief. Hey, brother, I got to go.
Let's go.
Love you all. It's
Love
1
that.
hour and 11 minutes in, and it is time to roll. So we'll see you next time at CDC-FDA.
See you next week. Thank you.